Everybody, Andy here. Right, this is the second of my responses to my own video about famous encounters. This one also took place, but this one was about 25 years ago, probably a bit more than that actually now, up in London. Several of my friends, I think it's one of my friends' 18th birthday, I seem to remember, and we went up to a venue called, it used to be called The Venue, in Victoria in London. Went to see a band called the Alberto y los Trios Paranoias, and if anybody remembers that band, especially from the UK, they were a bit of a mad bunch, but a very good live band. And anyway, on that particular tour that they've been doing up until that time, they've been supported by a band, The Police. Now, The Police at that time, as you can imagine, as they were supporting the other band, were not very well known at all. They'd just returned from their first American tour, I think, very, very low key, where they sort of carried all their instruments around. And we were hoping that they might actually play on the evening as well, but they didn't. But anyway, so we sat down to watch the main band and the build-up. And as it happened, members of The Police, Sting, Andy Summers and Stuart Copeland, happened to walk into the venue. Well, as I said, at this time they were not very well known at all, if at all, except by us, me and my mates who actually liked their sort of early material, and they bought a couple of their early singles. And they wandered in, and one of my friends sort of shouted over to them, and they came over. We got chatting, and they sat down at the table, and so my friend had got some champagne, and so we sat there for, I think they didn't want to stay with us for the rest of the evening, I think, for most of my sort of recollection of the way it goes. Anyway, so we were talking away, and the band came on, the main band, the Albertos, and we were all dancing around. And I was reminded afterwards, because you know what it's like, you have a few drinks, that at one point we were all sort of jumping up and down, because they're a bit of sort of a punky band, I suppose you would say. And apparently I had sort of arms out like this, you know, jumping around, and sort of Stuart Copeland on one side and Sting on the other side, which was quite interesting. But one of the things we were talking about, because we kept saying, oh, you know, you're going to be big, you're going to be really big, you're going to have a hit single. And I vividly remember Sting turning around to my friend and saying that if we ever have a top 20 single, he said, I'll buy you a drink. So I think he owes us a few beers by now. So, but another one, a little footnote to that, my girlfriend at the time who was with us was very unimpressed by this band. She had no idea who they were, and wasn't really interested in sort of talking to them, having a chat and dancing and all this sort of stuff as we were. And I met her a couple of years later at a party after we'd sort of split up, and we got talking about the current music scene, and the Police then were a very, very big band, and got talking about them, and she was saying to The Police, I said, oh yeah, they're a good band and all this, and she said, oh, I really like Sting, he's gorgeous. And I said, well, you've met him? And she said, what? And I had to remind her that she had actually met him all those years ago, and the fact that she hadn't taken any notice of it at the time. But that's the way it goes, isn't it? You never know where some of these people are going to end up. Anyway, that's my second one. That's it, Sting and The Police. I did actually meet them, a couple of them, about a year later, and we managed to sneak into a sound check. The same group of friends actually sneaked into a sound check that they were doing in London. Unannounced, you know, we just wandered in, no one took any notice, and Stuart Copeland came over at the end and had a little chat with us, and which was very nice bunch of guys. Andy Summers a bit more reserved, but say Stuart Copeland, the lovely bloke, Sting's a nice guy as well. Anyway, I'm sure they're a lot different now. That was a long time ago, 25 years. So anyway, thanks for your time. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.